So this weekend, I heeded my own advice. I listened to my system, body, mind, spirit, and emotions, and I stopped. I cancelled plans that I'd had in place, and I just pressed pause for the whole time. When I listened to my system, I had this strong sense of, I need to stop. I need to stop. I need to get off the fairground ride. And so that's what I did. I switched my phone off. I stayed off of social media all weekend. I just spent time in my own beautiful company, took the dogs for some really long walks, and rested. And I'm sharing this because I want you to know that when I talk about things on these videos, they're not coming from some textbook learned place. They are coming from my own experience of doing this over and over and over again for 20 years. It's 20 years since I had cancer. And it's not a once and done thing with health and well-being. It's not a once and done thing. We constantly have to readdress, reassess, and we've had a particularly stressful year in our household, and the toll of that is starting to kind of really show for me. And so I thought, right, I've got to take stock of everything and make any changes that I need to make. And so stopping this weekend was that. And it absolutely works. So from doing all of that, I had some beautiful random conversations with complete strangers and people I could sort of know a little bit. I found out that the Isle of Wight has a roller derby team, which will mean nothing to many people, but for anyone in roller skating who is into that, I've always been obsessed with it. I was very excited. Shout out to the White Rockin' Rollers. And just got to experience life and the various pieces of it. Got to do things in the house that I'd been putting off, or not been putting off actually, that I just had not got to, and felt more rested. So this is why we have to tune in and listen. And you want to do it now while you're feeling a little bit tired, but okay. Because if you don't, the system will shout louder and louder. And this is what happened to me when I got cancer. The warning signs had been there. I even had a premonition dream about a year and a half before the diagnosis. And I was particularly unhappy at that point in my life. So the conditions were there to grow an illness. But did I listen? Did I pay attention? No, I didn't. And so it took getting the diagnosis for me to go, right, that's it. I need to pause life in a big way so I can rewire and reset. And it worked, and for me, it took me 4 years of holistic work, natural healing, doing lots and lots of different things. And then I decided to go back to the doctors and I had a clear smear test come back. But this video is not about that story. This is about the overall picture of why it's important for us to listen. And then we can go back out in the world and dazzle, entertain, support, whatever it is we want to do for other people, with other people. So I encourage you to really dig in and ask yourself, are you really giving yourself what you need right now? Are you really listening? Are you really nourishing yourself? Because I found this weekend deeply nourishing. And just, people talk about self-care, and I think that term gets bandied around like a good buzzword does, buzz phrase, but I don't think we always know what that means for ourselves. And your picture of self-care will be completely different to mine. I'm a born introvert. So for me, the nourishment comes from being in my own company. I can be with other people and I love other people, but actually the nourishment, particularly when I'm low on energy, comes from being on my own. So this is where you have to get to know yourself and look at your values and then, say, am I doing that? Am I listening? Am I not just listening? Am I responding? Am I responding and taking action in alignment with what I absolutely need to look after myself and to be the best person I can be in the world? And if the answer is no, then it's time to break things down to have a look at for another video. And if you need help with that, get in touch. I work one-to-one specifically with women, helping them find a beautiful connection with their bodies and a loving experience of being in the world. Bye.